I'm Donna with Donna's Things. Welcome to my channel. I appreciate you taking your time, to come and see what's going on this side of the camera. If you're new, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you've been here before, you know my heart. I really do appreciate you tuning in. I know I was just on here yesterday. However, yesterday's video was to show some makes that I had, but today it's Friday, and so I am here for Friday Sews. Thanks over to Jen and Today and Jen's Sewing Room for creating this space that we can share our makes, we can learn techniques from one another, and of course share a little bit about life. I'll get started with the forum topic today. The question is, have you started purchasing any school supplies this year that you will be using in your sewing room? And that was really something that question came up because I just got the question this morning, because just yesterday I was cleaning out the closet where I kept all the notebooks, all the pens, all the paper, all the glue, all the clips, all the scissors, everything that we need for school. So I still donate school supplies, but I haven't had to purchase any for anyone in the past couple of years. I still had a lot of things in the closet, and the only thing that I probably would be bringing up to my sewing room are the post-it notes, and that's sometimes like for reminders of something that I need to do to a garment or something I need to remember to purchase for a garment. So I just want to share really quickly with you two patterns. This pattern, this Vogue 1953, I'm going to tell you, I've made it twice. While it is a gorgeous pattern, if you're not going to use it and actually make that low opening, I mean, that's deep. That's really, really deep. I made it twice, one casual, one evening. I put the piece there on the pattern. There is a piece in the middle here but it's a mesh and it's skin tone. Mine, of course, have some color depending on which one of the dresses I was making. My dresses look very nice, but I'm going to tell you, if you're not going to do this, I don't even know if you should bother to do the dress. I tried the dress on before I put the piece there, and it is absolutely gorgeous if you're going to wear clothing that's open in the front like that. I did have to make an adjustment because the bodice is kind of long for me, but that happens in a lot of Vogue patterns for me. Otherwise, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful pattern. This is the other thing I'm going to work on next week, Vogue 9319. I'd like to make this top and these pants. And again, because of the opening, I will wear a tank top under mine. I don't have the fabric for it yet, but I do know that that's something in my stash that I want to go ahead and make. The other thing is that I start working on, these are crepe fabrics, the black, the mauve, and the olive. These are for the Sew Reversible Challenge that Anne-Marie is doing over in Anne-Marie's workshop. So got a couple of things that I want to make, and that fabric will be used for my first garment that I will be making to share. So I'm sorry about that. So that's what I will be doing. Now, what I want to talk about today is not my life, not your life, but the life or a portion of something that was shared with me regarding Queen Elizabeth II. My niece, a couple of months ago, sent me the link to a podcast that she saw on Pinterest that she thought would be interesting to me, and it was. The podcast aired on March 21st, 2023. You can go to voiceamerica.com to see it. And the name of the program itself is The Space of the Waist. So it's a fashion channel, The Space of the Waist, WAIST. The host is Melody Edmondson. But on this particular day, she had a guest, Sally DeMarco. And Miss DeMarco is talking about Queen Elizabeth II's clothing. And yes, it was very interesting. So she refers to it as the iconic lifestyle of Queen Elizabeth II, who had reigned for 60 years. Talks about her jewels, talks a little bit about her handbags, her gloves. She called it a historical fashion statement. And I thought that was very interesting because don't when we get dressed, we're making a fashion statement. I don't know about you, but I choose what I'm going to wear depending on where I'm going that day or what event I will be attending. Now, it's not a historical statement, but I'm making a statement every time I put on certain clothes. But it was really, really good. The talk is about Queen Elizabeth's conservative, symbolic, and tailored look and how it reflected a confident modern woman in charge. I like that. I like my clothing to reflect those kinds of things about me too. Sometimes when I'm making a garment or choosing the fabric, or even when I'm just getting dressed, I'm like, yeah, this looks really good on. And sometimes you just want to look boss, you just want to look like, yeah, I got it going on. Not for the public, but just that confidence booster, that you sometimes need for yourself. But I like when it says a woman in charge. That kind of works for us sometime. And you'll see what I'm talking about as I share a little more about this podcast. She talks about the fact that Queen Elizabeth II had her own style of fashion. And it changed a little bit in her later years, but she basically, Miss DeMarco used the word monochromatic because she had for an event she went to, she had one color and one look. So she always was the same. I don't know about you, but I have particular things that I like. And no matter how many things you see in my video, most of them are not my go to pieces. I go to the simple shell shell or tank top that's in my closet. I go to my basic black pants or black skirt, maybe a tan color. I go to my basics even though I make beautiful, colorful clothing. Her clothing had to be set up in such a way that her security detail was able to keep up with her because we know she would be in large crowds. So her hat had to be a certain way. Her gloves, of course, represented something. And then one of the things I like is they talk about her umbrella if it was raining. She wanted to be seen. So she had the birdcage umbrella that was made, but it was clear plastic. But there was a band of color that matched her clothing around each one of the umbrellas. It said, according to Miss DeMarco, that she had over 100 or at least 100 umbrellas, at her disposal. But because she wanted to be seen and because her security detail had to be keep up with her, had to keep up with her, that band of color that matched her clothing would be on the umbrella. Mr. Marco refers to her clothing as a means of communication, and one of those things that she was communicating was a symbol of power. And that's what I'm talking about when I say, yeah, you get dressed and it's like, yeah, this is really nice. I'm boss today. I'm looking boss. I'm looking like I am a woman in charge. And that was important because in her day, women weren't in the forefront like we are today. So they may have been making decisions, I don't know, but everything was behind the scene where they now say, or they're saying that, or it is said, that Queen Elizabeth II actually helped to set a standard in government for women. And so I'm sure that was necessary because while we may be behind the scenes, a lot of times we do have a lot of wisdom. We do have some knowledge where we can share some things, and many of us are able to make some decisions about some things out here. Her handbags, most of the time she carried a black patent leather handbag and she wore black patent leather shoes. She did have other colors, but the handbags were from Lauder. Let's see, Launer, Launer, Launer London handbags. I hear they say today that the minimum price of it is $1,000 per bag, and the price goes up, up, and up. But they were instructed to design her handbags according to a certain weight, weight, because they didn't want the bag to get too heavy on her arm because she would be out for long periods of time sometimes. So they designed it. It was a certain weight, and then Mr. Marco talks about certain things that were the only things that Queen Elizabeth kept in her handbag. And one of those things were extra gloves, an extra pair of gloves. And that was for health reasons, sanitation reasons, because she was shaking so many hands in one day. They would have her, or she would prefer, to change into a fresh pair of gloves. Now, I do want to say, like I said earlier, we do choose our clothing like that today. We don't have security detail all around us and that have to pick us out. But depending on where we're going, if I know I'm going to be out all day, I'm not wearing high heels. I'm going to have on a flat or a lower heel pair of shoes. If I know that, I'm going to go to a meeting today, I'm going to wear something that's fit for a meeting, not go in a t-shirt, and a pair of pants. But if it is a dress down day and I can be comfortable, yeah, I'm going to throw on my t-shirt. I'm going to throw on that pair, that pair of jeans. So we're not making statements specific to what she did, Queen Elizabeth did, but we're making our own statements when we make our clothing, which is one of the reasons we make our clothing, or of course, even if we purchase something. I was in TJ Maxx today and they had the cutest pair of jeans, and I wanted the pair. They didn't have my size. They were one size down. No, two sizes down. And I looked at the jeans and I was like, oh, they're going to stretch. I took the jeans in the dressing room. I tried them on. They were a little struggle to get on, but when they got on, I was like, okay, they're going to loosen up a little bit. But when it came to time to take those jeans off, I had to sit down and then I had to pull from the bottom of the leg. And yes, I had to make a decision. Is that something you want to do every time you wear those jeans? And I told myself, no, I do not. And so the jeans went back on the rack. I did not bring them home with me. So we're making choices every day about what we want to wear, how comfortable we want to be in those clothes that we wear. Do I want my zipper on the side, or do I want my zipper down the back where I might struggle to get in and out of the garment? Do I feel like dealing with a collar? Do I feel like dealing with a heavy coat? What is it you want to wear depending on where you're going? So we're making statements that way too. Hats had to be made so that they did not obscure her face because she wanted to be seen amongst the people, not in a it's all about me way. She wanted the people to see her. She wanted to show that she was relating to the people. And one of the other things I picked up on when listening to the podcast, that in her later years, her clothing developed a little more zest. She started wearing more bolder, bright, vibrant colors and stuff. So it's really, really, really interesting. I will post a link in the description so that if anyone is interested, they could go ahead and take a look at it. So that's really all I have for today. It's been a rainy, rainy, rainy day, so I'm just chilling out for a little while on this Friday evening. No sewing today, just taking a little break for today. Who knows, tomorrow may be a whole nother story. Well, no, tomorrow we are celebrating my aunt's 85th birthday. So some of the family is here and her friends, and we'll be going out to dinner. So definitely no sewing on tomorrow evening. So that's all I got for today for this Friday Sews. If you enjoyed the content or think that you might like what's going on this channel, hit that like button. Of course, share with others that I'm on here if you want to subscribe, or even if you don't, if you just like piddling around and jumping in whenever you feel like it. In either case, I do appreciate it. But I would like for you to ring that bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. I appreciate your support. I appreciate the comments. Thank you so much. Bye.